is witchcraft. He said that in his book, Morals and Dogmas. Now let's go back to where you left off. What was you reading?
Ecclesiastes.
All right, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end.
Like I say, you got the Quran, you got Morals and Dogma, as you mentioned. You got textbooks that you go to college. And you know what? A lot of you people go to universities and you get these textbooks. When you go to these universities and these colleges, the first thing you do in the beginning of the semester, you either pay you either pay in advance, which you have to do, or you get some type of grant. And then the next thing that you do before you take your first class, you got to go in a bookstore. Right. And they tell you got to get this textbook. If your major is sociology, you got to get Sociology 101, History 101. You got to get these textbooks, and then you got to study these textbooks and have the teacher teach you, so to speak.
Yeah,
and then you.
That's interesting because I work in a bookstore, and a lot of the students come there, and all types of schools, top universities, and they can never find the book. The book is $200. And they complain about the price.
Because it's all a racket, man.
Yeah, it's all a racket.
Hey, you know what? It's all a big racket. College and school is all a big racket. You know what proves that? Now you had this situation with the Mexicans coming over the border, right? They're saying that they're gonna make it a felony. If they catch a Mexican, you're gonna be convicted or you're gonna be charged with a felony.
A felony?
So you always got some jackpot.
Bonehead.
You know, you always got some bonehead that's always got something stupid to say. Because these white people, and you know what, these white people, they really believe that they're gonna go on and on and on, man. They think that they really gonna go. They think they're gonna go to the. They think they're gonna have their grandchildren. They think they're gonna do good. Well, meanwhile, all these different Arab nations.
Yeah.
See, when the U.S. got gas, they paid for it in American dollars or Federal Reserve notes. It's not even American dollars. Now, right, it's not reserved. It's not backed by gold or silver. Now, what happened was they set up. There was a thing called the EU, the European Union, what they used to call the European Community, where it was a conglomerate of 10 nations, all right, that gathered together, European nations. Now it's supposed to be 26 of them. And what they did was, they're trying to establish a one European government. Instead of having England and France and Germany, it's one union right now. That's why they call it the EU, the European Union. So if they said we one union right now, we're going to have a money system. We have to have one money system. No francs, no Deutschmarks, no pounds. Right. We have to have one money system, and that one money system is called the euro. All right? That's what it's called, the euro. So when they established the euro, at one time, the American dollar or the Federal Reserve note was stronger than the euro. But the euro is backed by gold. So guess what? Which is stronger? The euro is stronger than the American dollar. So the Arabs, when they sell their oil, they want to deal with money with substance. They're finding out this American dollar that we're getting, this Federal Reserve note, is shit. You can't buy nothing with it. So if you want to buy oil, you got to pay us with euros because it's backed by gold. And the Arabs still deal with gold and silver. Their money is backed by gold and silver, right? Now, it's backed, like I said, the euro is backed by gold. So they're saying we want euros now. So the U.S. is saying, well, if we do that, if we convert the FRN, Federal Reserve notes, into euros, we got to spend more dollars to get fewer euros. So basically, we're paying more for the gas. So Bush said, you know what? Since they're going to do that, let's attack them and take their oil. That's what they're doing. Yeah. That's why they're over there in Afghanistan. That's why they're over there in Iraq dropping bombs on them now. And that's why they're getting ready and looking for an opportunity to go there in Iran. Because Iran's saying we ain't dealing with your American dollars. So they're saying, okay, we're going to attack you for it, man. We're going to steal it. If you want to take our bullshit money, we're going to steal it. All right? Now, switching gears again, this situation over there in the Mexican border thing, I'm going to tell you what that whole thing is all about. First of all, going back to the money system, the Federal Reserve note. money. If everybody in New York City that works in New York City said, I'm going to stay home, not going to work, you know what? This city will crumble.
Yeah.
All right? One day this city will freaking crumble, man. The stock markets will go down. The stock market will crash. Because anytime money's not flowing, people get worried. So if people are buying certain stocks, they're going to say, I'm going to wait. I don't know what's happening. So that's a chain reaction. So if everybody said, we're going to make New York City a ghost town when they're going to work, guess what? This society will collapse. When they had to prove that was a train strike. They had 3 days, man, this city was all messed up, man. These people were all messed up. Their business was closing, people didn't come into work, people were mad as hell. They were threatening to lock certain union members up because they didn't want to work. So that shows you that Jake had power to bring this man down because they know that this man's money system is crap. That's why they're saying, you got to work, our contract is this. You got to work more for less money, and you got to pay your own money that we give you toward your health care. And instead of retiring at 55, you got to retire at 62. So that's 7 more years. So Jake says this is all BS, man. We ain't dealing with that. Now going back to the Mexicans, all right? Everything's tied into money, right? Going back to the Mexicans. The reason why the Mexicans are sneaking across the border is because in Mexico, and I've been down there, the so-called American dollar is way stronger. What you make up here, if you go to Mexico, you live like a damn king, man. Well, there's a lot of countries. If you go to Canada, you go to any country, Jamaica. But if you go to Mexico, with the money that you get, whatever you get, let's say it's $300, whatever the hell you get, that $300 is like $3,000 down there. You live like a king.
That's why they're coming across the border.
Exactly, because down there,
they get money over here and go back there.
What they do is, down there, when they work at a job, they'll get $5 a day. Now over here, they might get $5 an hour. So $5 an hour, they'll say, damn, I'll work 12 hours a day. If I can make $60 a day, are you kidding me? I'm willing to put my life at risk. So Bush and them knows about that. So they're saying, you know what? We got indentured servants now. That's why Bush had this meeting with the Prime Minister of Canada, which has nothing to do with Mexico.
No.
If you watch the news, the financial news mainly, there was the Prime Minister of Canada, Vicente Fox, who was the Prime Minister or the President of Mexico, and Bush. So they were talking about, we got to do something about this thing. We got to have a guest worker program where we allow Mexicans to come to this country. They can stay here for 6 years. If they pay a certain amount of taxes and they pay $2,000 and learn English, after the 6 years, they might have an opportunity to become citizens. But they're using that to bring them in for cheap labor.
Cheap labor, yeah.
All right? The same thing, like I said, the same thing with the train strike. They're trying to say, no, you got to work 7 more years, and you got to pay more into your retirement, and really you're making more money or less money,
right? Because
really the dollar bill is shit. Everything's going up. Okay? But this is the real reason behind why Bush wants to allow the Mexicans to come in here. Because like I said, like I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 weeks, they have this thing called the chip, and it's in the book of Revelation. Let's get that. Revelation 13, starts at 16 verse. Because I got to speak on it. What they're going to do is, they're going to allow the Mexicans to come in there. Instead of making $5 a day, they're going to make $5 or $10 an hour. Now that's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. But to a Mexican, $5 a day compared to $5 to $10 an hour, that's paradise.
Yep.
So when they come in here by the droves, they're going to say, okay, we got to set up an identification system. If you're a murderer, if you're a terrorist, if you're this, if you're that. And at the same time, like I said, that's why they had Vicente Fox, who's the Prime Minister of President of Mexico, and the leader of Canada come down there all together because they're planning on making a system where they're going to put chips in these Mexicans that come over here.